one man is hogging the attention. Michael Jordan.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and make sure it's broke.
You know how great I am. I don't have to tell you about my strategy.
Created this company called Rockefeller Records. Shout out to Dame. I know we don't see eye to eye, but I can never erase your accomplishments.
Thank you,
and
Jay.
Thank you
for acknowledging Dame Dash.
Shout out to Biggs.
The Biggs.
One of the most honorable people.
Saudis, they're the richest people ever. They just don't. It's not public. Like, you know.
Or Putin's the richest ever.
Yeah, he's one of the richest ever.
But are you the richest ever?
Oil families, they don't have to disclose their income. They're trillionaires. I talked to
I have no motherfucking fear. I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine. And I will do anything to protect and feed my family.
Yeah, I used to smoke reefer. What? I mean, you know, preachers, we gotta stop.
Yeah, what up, world? You already know what time it is. Well, Matt is the host of the most never need to bag no more. So all I ever did was give a toast to the real folks who done paved the way in a real way for us players to play. I got my right hand with me, as usual.
Yeah.
WIDGET in the building, in the place to be.
Yes, sir.
The myth, the legend. What you saying, player? You good?
Oh man, I can't call it. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here trying to see what's good in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I'm chilling like a villain, maxing and relaxing.
Word.
Relaxing and steady ass. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But yo, what's really good out there, man? How you feeling today on this good, what is it? Monday night.
Oh man. It's a beautiful evening, to be honest with you. You know, it's not too cold out. But I ain't gonna lie. This whole time change got me a little bit off balance, a little bit off schedule or whatever. But you know, I guess it'll take a day or two for that to settle in. But other than that, everything's good, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all put y'all clocks back up an hour. I hope y'all did that. It's been that whole day.
Listen. We back though. We back on track for sure.
Yeah, man. So how's everything in the? Well, fuck. I already asked you that, man. So let's get down to business, man. Yo, you seeing what's going on out here in these YouTube streets?
It's getting hectic out here. I heard.
Well, before we get to that, man, let's talk about the Oscars so white, man. Oscars are acting so white. And how selective outrage by Chris Rock helped the whole thing come what it is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they really sat up there and mentioned Will Smith to get ratings, you know what I'm saying? But they banned him for a whole year, 10 years. But they mentioned his name, man. There should have been a clause where they don't mention his name no more, you know? But I guess, you know, it is what it is. He embarrassed them, so they're returning the favor, right? In a certain
949.
In a certain way, shape or form. But I want to break down what Jimmy Kimmel was saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't condemn a man if you ain't even been in that man's shoes. But at the same time, the Oscars know what they were doing, man. They were like, hey, man, we ain't got no allegiance to these people. could say what we want and then throw them all under the bus simultaneously, you know? So let's really hear what he had to say, you know?
All right,
Because
let's
I
get it.
like to go deep. I like to, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. No, I need to hear it too. I need to hear what he's talking about.
But I was not. The odds of another fight on stage just went way up.
Will Smith's Oscar slap was the subject of lots of jokes at the 2023 Academy Awards. Jimmy Kimmel, the host of this year's show, referenced last year's debacle multiple times throughout the ceremony. During his opening monologue, the talk show host joked there were new policies.
Yeah, you can't hear it because they're flagging a bunch of people.
Commits an act of violence at any point during the show, you will be
Yeah, I could hear it a little bit.
Best actor
You know what he said?
and permitted to give a 19-minute long speech.
He then told the audience that the Academy had a crisis team in place should anything go down.
If anything unpredictable or violent happens during the ceremony, just do what you did last year. Nothing. Sit there and do absolutely nothing. Maybe even give the assailant a hug.
What happened?
We had that little skirmish
Yep.
last year. Hopefully,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time it
everything's
goes
straight?
without a hitch,
Yeah,
or
I'm
at
back.
least
I'm back.
without hitch.
My bad.
Then nearly two.
I'm trying to get some other panelists to come on and speak on this. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's something we need to talk about.
Happens during the ceremony. Just
So
do
I
what you
turned,
did last year.
I rewinded it a little bit.
Sit there and do
Listen.
absolutely
All right.
nothing. Maybe even give the assailant a hug.
Jimmy went on to say that if anyone gets angry at his jokes and decides they, quote, want to get jiggy with it, he has a squad of A-listers who will defend him.
You're going to have to get through the heavyweight champ, Adonis Creed, before you get to me. You're going to have to do battle with Michelle
Oh my
Yeoh
God.
before
So
you
he's
get to
naming
me.
all these non-white
You're
people.
going to have to beat the Mandalorian before you get to me.
The
Okay,
TV
one white
personality made
person.
another slap joke while talking about this year's nominations for Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson,
He said
Barry
Adonis
Condon,
Creed is
Barry
going to
Keoghan, and
defend
Paul
him.
Mescal, who are all Irish.
5 Irish actors are nominated tonight, which means
I'm sure you're not insulting someone's wife, Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know.
Later in the show, it was time to hand out the award for Best Documentary Feature, which is the category Chris Rock announced last year that got infamously interrupted. When announcing the presenters, Jimmy took the opportunity to zing Will with a reference to his 2005 movie, Hitch.
our next category is documentary feature, which, as you may recall, is where we had that little skirmish last year. Hopefully this time it goes off without a hitch, or at least without hitch.
Then, nearly 2 hours into the show, Jimmy asked how the audience was hanging in there, and said this.
This point in the show kind of makes you miss the slapping a little, right?
After the last word was handed out, the host signed off and told one last slap-related gag.
So you heard that? You heard that, player?
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna get Adonis Creed to fight for him. But I'm sure he's saying that in good fun, but still, you know, you can't be out here saying shit like that because what if you disrespected Denzel's wife? You think Adonis Creed's gonna help you? or some shit like that, you know?
Right.
That's the thing, you know? They do this so they can make it seem like black folks are violent
Right.
or extra, like, we're extra. We can't act, no, you know what I'm saying? Especially the
Right. Right. Right.
Oscars. The Oscars when they know it's all about them, you know? There's a whole thing in 2016 about the Oscars being so white, you know? And they're
Yeah, I
telling
remember
some of
that.
the actors to boycott, you know? Well, I like what Spike Lee and Denzel did. When the Oscars was going on this year, they're at a Knicks game, like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the
Mhm.
world. They ain't with the bullshit neither, you know? Like, there's one thing about being with comedy, there's another thing about pandering to an audience that, doesn't really respect you, but you have to do it because that's your bread and butter, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's kind of like, there's a
That's kind of
disservice
what's
to
happening.
comedy. Yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? As a whole, that's what I feel, you know? But let's listen to Cat Williams speak on the whole situation, you know?
All right. Let's hear that.
I want to hear what
No
Cat has to
cat got
say, you know?
some
Because he's coming from a A-lister comedic standpoint, you know? So
perspective.
he could
Yeah. Yeah. He
he
got
could
some
break it
real
down.
insight on that for sure.
So listen to this one.
Talking to the world. I was talking to the city of Atlanta, and I should have never mentioned Kevin Hart's name. That is the reigning king of comedy if you ask for popular consensus. So now, the fact that he's a black man like me, and the fact that I have attacked him with such vitriol at a time when our country is already divided in every way it could be divided, racially, politically, economically, socially, religiously. Like the fact that I, while being on stage pretending to be higher than that, would then stoop down to the same level and try to embarrass Kevin Hart in front of his children and loved ones after all the hard work he's done since the year 2002. It's just regrettable on my part. So I humbly apologize to not only Kevin Hart, but Heartbeat Productions, the Plastic Cup Boys, and anybody associated with Kevin Hart. That was a mistake on my part because I don't love Kevin. I love Tori. Tori's a friend of mine. So I might have it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't need an excuse. I'm sorry for having mentioned Kevin's name at all. Having said that, I didn't make a total mistake. I meant to cut the snake, but I meant to cut the head of the snake. So my special will no longer be in Philly. It'll be in New York at the Barclays, where I cut off the head of Chris Rock. Step and fetch it, crew
I'm
number
gonna
one.
invite my guests, man. Y'all come on when y'all
Like
want to chime in on this whole situation.
I'll deal with Chris Rock there in New York.
Let's get it.
I'll acknowledge that when I get to it. I've already made enough missteps. I just got done doing back-to-back apologies for the first time in my life. So that's what it is. So, okay, we got that. And on to the next, sir. Sorry, listeners. I know this is not fun radio. Why don't they play some music? Yeah, I tell you what. Let's play some commercials and come back and talk. Yes, that's what they want. That's what we get because I got to get that next week's video. Can't wait.
Y'all hit the link. Y'all hit the link if y'all want to come up and discuss this situation.
I did not treat Ray Grant like a stepchild. That's more. How will I know you, Grant? Chapel. Yes. How you doing, sir? I'm doing great, man. Can you hear me? Yes, I can. Okay, I'm doing great, man.
I don't know what's the real issue with Chris Rock. Is it because of the comments Chris Rock made to Will Smith and Jada Pink? Or I'm like, Same with you, Christoph, very New York, man. Christoph was top last year.
What makes it taste so good?
Yeah, so he's finna talk about it right now. It's probably a little snippet, but this is good for a good 7
Christoph
minutes.
was top last year. He even said it in his video that he's still feeling pains from the stuff. What's the issue with him?
Actually, in the spirit of the unification of comedy, Ray Grant and I are extending the invitation to Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle to join us at the Staples Center in about 45 days, where we will be performing in front of a sold-out crowd in Los Angeles. And that way they'll get a chance to see Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart and Cat Williams and Ray Grant. Cat Williams will be hosting said event, and Kevin Hart will be headlining said event. So, bam, another exclusive right there.
Very nice. Wait, man, you know what I'm saying? That's bigger than ever, nigga. How you say the turn up is real, man? Turn up is real.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Do we have a specific date for this particular fantasticness?
The Staples Center does. They've sold 12,000 tickets.
Did they really? Damn, already.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
There's only 19,000 in there.
Tigger, you getting a lot of big news this morning, man. I like that. Even though it's afternoon. It's afternoon.
It's morning for us because we woke up in LA and then got off the plane in Atlanta.
And I wanted to give you some credit. You know, when I talked to you Tuesday, he said, Ted, okay, you say you didn't say it. I believe you. I got to go to court, but I'll be back. He said, if you want to do an interview or whatever, I got you. So I texted, yesterday. I wasn't sure if you were on the plane, not today. I was literally about to say, so where my cat be? And they was like, he in the lobby. And I was like, so I appreciate you, and I thank you for.
Fantasy, hit the link if you see it.
That's not normal.
Yeah, I not only have to do that, I have to do it in 2 places. So I go directly from here to CNN. So,
really?
You and Don Lemon.
JB, if you hit the link.
I would take that. So, Red,
So
y'all
what?
conspiracy theory tour. What else you got coming up, son?
Nah,
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
KB was gonna come on. I was gonna tell him hit the link.
We're gonna do some movies together right now. Pictures right now. We'll get into the movies. You know what I mean? Just
shout outs to Mark Curry.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Curry.
It means you're starting something, starting a fight with Chris Rock. Like, cut off the head of Chris Rock, man. What did he do? And he killed him in New York. Like,
yeah. Superman Miller.
Shout outs to Ashima Franklin.
Okay. I need to be the same with Franklin.
And I hope that you do.
Okay. So, Kat, why does it seem like drama shadows the hell out of you?
I do. I do not know why the Bible says that Satan would pick on you.
Why is
I think you just said, why are you being persecuted? What I'll say is the persecution is worthy.
Right.
It doesn't happen to everybody, nor should it. Now, heavy is the head, not wealthy is the head, not healthy is the head, not
heavy is the head that wears the
just,
crown.
You don't care what it is when it's good. You care about how good it is when it's awful.
Watching Cat Williams on TMZ while we talk to Cat Williams.
But I'm proud of him. Every time I see him, no matter how different he looks, he always looks like he's doing the one thing no crackhead has ever done. Make millions and millions and millions of dollars while being consistent and owning his own product.
Man, you want to make millions of dollars, right? You want to be also consistent, also, most especially on your own product, you know.
Well, this African guy commenting on this.
We are the individual entertaining people, hosting varieties of stomach specials here and there.
There's another one. There must be another one. There must be another one. Hold up. Let me find it. He's actually speaking on what happened. Oh,
I am in the production business. I understand what it is worth doing for ratings. I understand what it is worth doing when the industry is canceling one black guy. I know what happens when they are going to elevate another. And I know what happens when they don't care about either. This is how quarterbacking goes. So the question is, hey, your quarterback just got sacked. Did we know we was fin to sack your quarterback? We absolutely did. It was a play, buddy. We've been rehearsing it, working it out, making sure that at some point, when you get to this level, we can make sure we knock you from a $20 million man to putting in the news that people won't hire you no more and your career is done. Yeah.
So you're saying it was a setup?
You saying it was? I'm saying that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend that seems like a setup is.
Everything that happens in a business, that's based off of pretend, that seems like a setup is.
Yes. What I'm saying is, if Jussie Smollett and Lee Daniels for a living make stories that are not real, and they make them so good that people and said a story that turned out to not be true.
Why? Why would we think that? If they are capable of doing that for a living.
That's what they do for a living. They do that 300 episodes.
I don't think Will was pretending that either. I thought he was having a nervous breakdown in front of us.
This is collaborative. So when Will Smith speaks, Will Smith is not the giant that he is solely on the merits of Will Smith or his family. There are 300 Will Smith business operation that is the $20 million a movie mega thing that Will Smith represents. And if you are the people that are in business with him, when you decide that you can do it too.
yo, are you hearing it or are you not?
We see him as, oh, this is why he said something about his wife and he got mad and jeopardized his career. And then the guy had to decide what he was going to do with his career. And then he, we have to understand that these are the giants in our field if you're a black person.
Correct.
This is two guys too big and too good to be involved in what they're in. That would make sense if it's me and Michael Blackson slapping each other. not Will Smith and Chris Rock. These are when two large boulders come together and you can't see Chris Rock winning at all. He's humiliated. If you were going to slap a comedian, head of the coons, so slappable. And if you're going to slap him, you just need the greatest guy. The bestest guy, the one who's shown us him being on his best behavior since the 90s. That guy is the one that will have to slap him. In order for the type of ratings we need and attention to be on this. See, what I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you will be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money.
So somebody makes money. So going back to Chris Rock, who says that his wife was sleeping with her friend's son, and there was something private, the ones they got interview about it. Which means got way more hurt. And who is the one that is stopped? Him, Chris Rock.
Rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million now, don't have to talk to that artist. Or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money, he goes up and up and up. So they kill this $20 million guy, but they reap $60 million in benefits. They had some people from your city do it. I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses.
But think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, Will Smith and Chris Rock. It can only be what it has been because those particular, those two.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed, it goes on. In certain ways, things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought in a plan. Somebody, even if it looks like...
I hear what Cat Williams saying. Some real shit. Right. Some real shit.
I believe that.
So in all of these situations, there's a business involved, and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. No way. It would be hard for a homeless guy to get into the Hollywood area alone. A homeless guy be able to rush the stage and actually.
You're saying same for Dave Chappelle and this random homeless person. Same thing, like, how did he rush the stage? I've been to Hollywood Bowl. How do you rush the stage?
Look. This is the business. We're in the business where make believe happens, where the job is to have something that costs 9 cents for us to make, and we sell it for $4.99. It's okay that it costs us 9 cents, but the star is the commodity. These are real people, real lives. When you see things happen, and you don't have all of the information. The true tragedy is what Jada Pinkett Smith is having to go through in that scenario, considering if at most you can say maybe she disappointed Will. Other than that, she has upheld Black women, actresses. We've never been embarrassed of Jada Pinkett Smith. She always worked hard for every role and worked hard in it. She always was willing to give us everything. She's successful through. She didn't get made by Will Smith. Regardless of what you think about her relationship, that's not your relationship. If it's an open relationship, understand that means him and men, not you think about it wrong. It's okay. These things matter.
I'm ready. You giving the inside because Hollywood know that, right? That's not new. However, I love for you talking about Jada, how people have tried to vilify her, especially after her quote unquote entanglement. I think it's so disrespectful. I think she has been nothing but class personified. And you know what I'm saying? Like, she could, as a Black...
No, she's more than that.
More than that. And I don't like how she's getting such a bad rap. Because I was like, that's not what this is. Go on.
No, there is a business where they fiddle with the perception of the people. And that's part of the job. Back in the day, it used to be called propaganda. Now it's just called business. They don't say we got to smear the candidate. They smear them. Whoever made you is who is qualified to break you. That's the end of it. When they fought,
saying a lot of real stuff right there, Cat Williams.
You on that Fox show, it was because you were going to do this and only this. You'll never do that. As soon as you breach that, they done what you do. They had decided that they were finished with Will when he did After Earth with Jaden, because there was no way they was gonna let Jaden on, because Jaden didn't have to do what you had to do to get in. We're not gonna let you put Jaden and Will on. And from there, they done what was necessary to take him from a $20 million movie to put him in a position where maybe it can appear he has a nervous breakdown and now it's on oil. And it's not racist. They did it with white actors as well. They cut down Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and all of them from $20 million.
My bad.
Let them out there to drive and restructured everything. This is
This is business. But look at Chris Rock on the response. It doesn't seem like it's business to me. It seems like something else. Chris Rock made a mistake was the top. We should definitely slap Chris Rock because he never did well with Chris Rock.
Yeah. So he said a lot there, man. What do you think about that, man?
Well, I guess, it is kind of a different perspective, and that should not be neglected because true to the fact that if they want to boost the ratings, they got to cause some kind of drama. And now, who's getting paid behind the oh, right? Which is who the television company and everybody else behind that, right? It's the actual actors that get the bad end of the stick and all of that. But they're not, they don't care. But no, it's true. It's very easy to set that up and put that. It is Hollywood, right? So at the end of the day, if they want to step
violence at any point during the show, you will be awarded the Oscar for Best Actor. If anything unpredictable or violent happens during the ceremony, just do what you did last year. Nothing. As the youngest Nobel Prize winner in history, I was wondering, do you think Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine?
I want to talk about peace.
The 2022 Oscars event that featured Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. It would have been awkward for no one to address it, so Jimmy Kimmel did just that. We'll break it down for you. But before we do that, go ahead and do us a favor by leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars. So let's get right to the Oscars, shall we? As noted, it was a big event for some, and Jimmy Kimmel had to make it go smoothly this time around, or he might not be hosting it anymore. Thankfully, he seemed to do a good job. Jimmy Kimmel addressed last year's Oscar slap during his opening monologue, and he did it just like most everyone thought he would, with a joke and a jab, and a warning. Three-time host was back Sunday to take on MC duties, and his remarks at the top of the show did not dodge the elephant in the room. It took a while for JK to get to the slap, sprinkling in shots at a lot of other stars beforehand, but when he did, he went in like you expected him to.
This is the Hollywood version of your drunk uncle starting a fight, ruining the wedding, and then standing up and giving a long toast to the practical.
Jimmy made fun of showrunners from 2022, saying they had a crisis team in place tonight, but noted that if anything did happen, he expected them to do what they did last year. Absolutely nothing. He even joked that if anyone did assault someone else this time, they'd be awarded Best Actor, given a stage for a speech and a hug to boot. He also made sure to mention that they want people to feel safe and that no evidence would be accepted, then roping in a ton of stars into possible protection he might have to activate if anyone tried going after him for a joke they didn't like. He name-dropped Michelle Yeoh, Michael B. Jordan, Andrew Garfield, Pedro Pascal, Steven Spielberg, and others, as people any would-be assailant would have to get through if they want to rumble on stage. A little earlier in the monologue, Kimmel appeared to again reference the slap while talking about all the Irish actors nominated this year, with him joking there could be another fight. Thankfully for all involved and all those at home, there was no fighting of any kind at the Oscars this year. There may have been fights in viewers' homes, depending on how they viewed the winners, but that's not the Oscars problem. Yet, no matter what, it's not hard to see why this was so much on their minds, including how just a week previous, Chris Rock dropped a comedy special on Netflix where he finally opened up about the incident, and then that special was edited.
And people are, well, you guys are fighting all the time. We're not fighting. First of all, I know you can't tell on camera. Will Smith is significantly bigger than me. This guy, Will Smith does movies with his shirt off. You've never seen me do a movie with my shirt off. Actually, even in animation, this mother's bigger. I'm a zebra, he's a shark. Because everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that. I didn't have any entanglements. I did not have any entanglement. And then for people that don't know, and everybody knows, Will Smith and his wife was in her son's friend. Okay?
He slapped you because he talked about her hair.
Put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that is low down.
Netflix edited a joke Chris Rock made about Will Smith from his selective outrage comedy special after Rock confused two of Smith's movies. The special, which aired on March 4th, marked the streaming service's first live global streaming event, allowing viewers to see every joke and blunder. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Rock messed up a joke about a conversation he had with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith about the Oscars in 2016.
We all been cheated on. Everybody in it has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. It's like, hey, I was sexing somebody else. How did that make you feel? She hurt him way more than he hurt me. Okay? By the way, he does that. Everybody in the world calls him a bitch. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. Charlemagne called him a bitch. The Breakfast Club called him a bitch. And The View and The Talk and every rapper and fucking the Drink Champs called him a fucking bitch. Everybody called him a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could be. That is some bitch ass shit.
Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for Emancipation, the biggest piece of shit ever. Rock told a live audience in Baltimore, Maryland, where the special was filmed. No, not Emancipation. I put the joke. The quip was intended to be a reference to Smith's 2015 biopic, Concussion, in which he starred as Dr. Bennett Omalu, a scientist researching chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, in professional football players. Rock continued on after the mistake and delivered the joke accurately. In the streaming version of Rock's special, currently available on Netflix, he correctly names Concussion as the film Pinkett Smith was referring to. The special is also tagged with a disclaimer that says the show was streamed live and edited. Rock was aware of the edits and even helped Netflix with it so that it would feel smooth. So it wasn't that harmful, unlike many of the reactions to the special. The reactions. There were tons of reactions from people once the comedy special aired, but the one that most people point to is the reported reaction via a source from Will Smith. Smith allegedly was embarrassed by what was said about him and Jada, and it didn't end there. Will apologized to Chris and would like for Chris to let it go, the source added. Will has worked on himself and he's banned by the Oscars for 10 years. He feels like that's enough and wants Chris to move on so that he and everyone else can too. Will is also upset that Netflix was a part of this and thinks Chris insulting Jada again is below the belt. He's upset that Netflix gave Chris this platform to share these messages and thinks it's distasteful. Though the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actor still has a lot to say, since he felt terrible for so long about smacking Chris at the Oscars, he's tried unsuccessfully to make amends in the best way he could with Chris. Other celebrities weighed in on this special, and the responses varied wildly. For example, those who were on the side of Chris Rock and his special included August Alsina. August watched the Netflix special and he laughed, a source told the Post. He thought it was not only funny, but truthful. That was the best part for him. A lot of people spoke out against Alsina. the source said. So he was happy to see that Chris Rock seemed to be advocating for the truth and not just making a joke. Another person who was on Chris Rock's side was Marlon Wayans, who felt that the special was Rock's way of healing. It was good to hear him speak about it. You could tell it was passionate. Wayne said, what you heard was somebody that was hurt, somebody that was finding their way to heal in that moment. Whether you believe that statement or not will depend on whose side you stand on. With a year now being passed since everything went down, it's possible that between this comedy special and the Oscars mentioned, that things will finally die down. But then again, maybe they won't. It's hard to say given all who's involved. And there you have it, everyone. A look at the Oscars. The Will Smith Chris Rock scenario that continues to grow and more. Did you enjoy the Oscars and the references to the Smith Rock incident? Are you surprised that people are still reacting to Rock's comedy special on Netflix? What do you think will happen next with this feud? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.
Irish people should be mad too. They said, "Oh, there's a bunch of Irish people. It's gonna be a fight." You know what I'm saying? Nah, if you're gonna call it out, you gotta call it out all across the border.
Right.
But you know, it's crazy.
Was that Will Smith? The thing I love with Dave, it was like a couple of shows that were just me and Dave on stage for like 2 hours.
And jokes.
We have strict policies in place. If anyone in this theater commits an act of violence at any point during the show, you will be awarded the Oscar for Best Actor. If anything unpredictable or violent happens during the ceremony, just do what you did last year. Nothing.
There's been a lot going on with Will Smith over the last year. Some of it good and some of it bad. In 2023, most of it has been positive. He was also going.
His wife was in her son's.
Still angry about the 2016 joke. Rock also said that when people ask if the slap hurt, he says, yes, it hurt. It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears. I'm not a victim, baby. You'll never see me on Oprah. I took that hit like Manny Pacquiao. Definitely an interesting analogy, but we're going to go ahead and accept it. Will and Jada get blasted? He wasn't afraid to pile it on the Smiths throughout the show beyond what we talked about earlier. For example, he wasn't done talking about the entanglement that Will and Jada went through, as well as the actions that they took to solve it via the Red Table Talk House. I have no idea why two talented people something go down. Rock is taking credit now. What the fuck? We've all been cheated on. Everyone here has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the on television. Rock admitted that when the news broke about the company, he tried to reach out to try to give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. During
You think Jada's a predator? She had an entanglement. Argus Alcina.
I root for this motherfucker. Now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got me rooting for Master.
No, it's not that. You know, it's a lot of other shit. You know, he's saying like Meghan Markle didn't experience racism. He equated like their racism to a white person come to a black house. I don't know. I don't know, some shit, bro. Some shit, some weird shit he was trying to say. And then he was talking about mama always told me never to fight in front of white folk. And shit like
Say what?
Mama told me never to fight in front of white folks.
Oh, okay.
What is that? That's weird shit. Why would his mom tell him that? You know?
Right, right, right.
Like
I
simple shit
mean,
like that.
I get it. It's kind of like, oh, you don't want to like allow them to point the finger and like kind of say, look, it's the stereotype sort of thing. But at the same time, it's like be realistic too. You know, you gotta, you know, shit happens sometimes. You know, you can't
Yeah.
always control circumstances. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like he was saying a lot of coonish shit, you know? On top of getting smacked. It's like shit, man. Yeah, you gotta do all that, you know. But Dave Chappelle does kind of like the same kind, but he's not as coonish, you know. He's saying, I bet you if I put on the selective outrage, I would
Pardon?
pick him. I would, if I seen the exact thing, I could tell you that by him saying stuff and doing stuff that caters to those folks and creating an
Mhm.
atmosphere where they could joke about the whole thing, you know.
Exactly.
So Chris Rock is acting like, oh, Jimmy Kimmel is only this and thing, right? A lot of people are thinking like that, but no, it's black folks that he's dissing ultimately.
Say that again.
When they're saying like, oh, if there's any violence here, it's gonna be they're prepared to deal with it or whatever, you know.
Right.
He's saying that about all black folks and not just Will Smith.
He's alluding to the stereotypes. No, I hear you. I hear you. Trying to say all black people are rowdy and yeah, yeah, I got you.
So that is why I can't co-sign his whole spiel about, oh, I mean, that's what you do as a comedian. You want to get it out, whatever, you know. Tell that truth. But you didn't have to do all that extra shit. That's just how I feel about it. You know? But then you see what Cat Williams is saying. He's on some more of it, shit, you know. But from both perspectives, you got like, I don't know. I don't know. You know. It's just weird that the Oscars this year they're like, yo, forget that, man. We ain't nominating no. Well, one black person won for best costume design or something like that, or some shit.
Right.
No black people won anything else.
So what?
So no black people won
Say
anything
that
else.
again?
So no black people won anything else. Huh? You hear me? You can hear me?
Now I can hear you.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So no black people want anything at this Oscar. So there's a reason for that, you know. They gave Jamie Lee Curtis the Oscar over Angela Bassett. Like, yo,
Right.
uh, for what movie? We don't even know. Some movie that they just came out with probably 2 weeks ago. Some shit.
Right. What movie was it? I didn't even.
I don't even know. But she started in some movie.
Exactly.
So that goes to show, man. We gotta see the games that are being played right in front of us, you know. 'Cause it's crazy,
Right.
man. You know. Another news, you know, Troy Ave took the stand. Crazy, huh?
What do you mean? How do you take the stand on who? On
Who?
himself?
On himself. Took the stand on your boy. Took the stand on your boy Tax Stone.
Oh shit.
Damn, yo. Well, let's see what's his name? Hocus 4/5 had to say about it. You know Hocus 4/5? Yeah, from Bronx Cat.
Yep. Rapper.
Right.
He said that he was going to testify. I'm in the frame from the stand and all that. But and he actually did it today. But in between that time when I did that video, when he said he's going to testify, it was people that I fuck with who used to fuck with him, and it was like, yo, he just said that because he got a case coming up. He's really not going. He said that he's really not going to go testify. That's just something, he's just saying, he's just putting that out there to try to proclaim his innocence to the public. So I'm like, oh, okay, even though it's still some sucker shit, I understand it. I understand what he's trying to do. His case is public. Today he testifies and he snitches, and I'm gonna read on what he said. This is coming from Academics page. So he says, it says the NYC rapper Troy Ave testifies about fatal shooting at T.I. concert. I'd rather die fighting. Well, this is actually from the New York Post. If it's fight or flight, I'm always going to fight because at that point you could die, Collins 37 said in Manhattan Supreme Court. That's Dre. Collins described grappling with Taxstone, a hip-hop podcaster whose real name is Darryl Campbell, over the gun. It looks like if you see people wrestling in high school wrestling, that type of position. When the shot goes off, I see the light from the spark and I hear the shot. Very descriptive. He testified, this is all happening fast. I get up and start fighting Taxstone, trying to take him, grab the gun, and another shot goes off. I put my leg up and kind of block the shot from hitting me in the face or chest. That's when Campbell shot him in both legs. So basically, and then it goes on to say what he did. Rapper Troy Ave Monday gave Matt and Joe was a gripping account of his life and death struggle with rival Taxstone for the gun he used to kill his father in 2016 stuff. I got up, Collins said. I'd rather die fighting people die from leg shots. I'd rather die fighting than laying on the ground. I got up immediately. Collins finally got his hands on the gun and got his fleeing rifle in his sights, only to have the weapon, whatever. He said that's when Campbell reached for his waistband and pulled a gun, prompting a fight that ended with McFadden dead. In the aftermath, Collins said concert goers started to flee when someone yelled the cops were coming. So, in a nutshell, I'm not even here to drag Troy out. I mean, I've been knew he was a rat and he was going to rap. He said he was going to rap. And if someone said they're going to rap, you believe them. I'm just really here just to talk about it because people have asked me to talk about it. And to point out the underlying message in this is like, yo, this industry and these rap dudes and it's demonic. It ain't even worth it. It's not even fun no more. Like it used to be when I was coming up trying to get in the music industry. I really loved to do music. It was fun. You know, I wanted to make money doing it. I love to see people dance and hear my music. But it turned into is some demonic, real like greaseball shit. You know what I'm saying? The industry is real cutthroat. And for all you young up and coming rappers, let's look at all the other rappers right now that's getting wrapped up and snatched up. Let's look at it. It's either you're gonna work with them like Trey Ave, or they're gonna take you down. And that's how I was looking right now. And at the end of the day, he did that is snitching. That's what you call snitching. You know what I'm saying? You can't claim to be a dope boy from the street, a gangster rapper, and then when
dope boy Troy
get into a situation, you testify on someone. That is called snitching. Had he went to trial and testified for himself in his own trial, like in his trial, like y'all gonna say, well, why do time for Taxstone? Him testifying against Taxstone is not doing time for Taxstone. It's not. If he did a deal to get a lesser time in order to testify, that whenever you become a prosecuted witness, it is snitching. That's just the rules of the street. It's not some rules Hocus made up. I'm not trying to drag Troy out. I'm just being honest. What he did today is snitching, and you can fall him for it, or you can. Some of y'all, I see y'all in the comments, y'all in academic comments. Yeah, he did what he's supposed to do. Cool. Yeah, you can have your opinion on it. I'm just telling you what it is. I know, yes, he did. Taxstone did go to his place of work, and yeah, okay, cool. He brought a gun, and it turned into what it turned into. So I get a lot of y'all arguing that point, and I understand. But understand this guy proclaimed to be a dope boy street gangster, not a gang no, but he was a street dude. I ain't gonna really bite your hair off about it. I know y'all want to hear me get ignorant, but I'm not. At the end of the day, Troy Ave is a certified snitch at this point, and it just is what it is. Salute, hope you full fifth. I got another video for y'all tomorrow coming. Stay tuned. You're ready.
Damn, what do you think about that, right? Dope boy Troy.
Took the stand.
Took the stand, yo. He said he wrestled the burner. Told him everything. Yep. That was the only way he was going to get off. If he ran it.
Well, it is kind of surprising because he was the one preaching all that street shit, right?
Wasn't he saying, what was it?
Here's to the ones who show up first.
What was he saying? Streets is a myth. The streets is a myth, and then there's something about what else did he say? So some crazy shit about
Say what?
checking the scoreboard. You just checking the scoreboard or something. What's the scoreboard? Oh, he's playing the game. Checking the
Who
scoreboard.
said that though?
Troy
Who said they're checking the scoreboard? Troy?
And served his justice as he should have. Okay, because this is why I believe
This is Jordan
I'm
Tower
not
talking
so
at it.
on the fence about this, because Taxstone was the first person to point a finger at Troy Ave. He can't say anything, okay? He was way worse, okay? You got his lawyer going there lying for him, saying, yo, he did it. Also remember, Banga leaves behind a family. And he was just trying to break up the thing. But Taxstone was aggressive as soon as he saw Troy Ave. He's hated Troy Ave for a long time, was just bullying him on the internet. And, you know, he just said, you know, he's not speaking the truth. And maybe he was right. But did it warrant him taking a gun out and shooting him? No. That's crazy. Okay? Taxstone was out of control. Now, did he have a great podcast? Absolutely. Okay? Did he say some real stuff from time to time? Yeah. But come on, man. He was too old for this. He was like 4 years old with all this anger. He was in core passions, you know, learn to figure out, you know, that's my point about the thing. As you get older, you mature. You realize that, you know, losing the game isn't worth it. You going to jail isn't worth it, you know? Younger guys, when you're younger, your mind just isn't, you haven't gone through it yet, you know? So there's not really an excuse for being younger, but there's more of an excuse than being old. Let's just say that much. Now, this is what the article read. So, of course, you know, Troy Ave walks to court. Boom, 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 boom. Casanova. You know, don't forget Casanova is also on wiretaps with all this junk. But basically, here's what everything reads right here. So it says, it's fight or flight. I'm always going to fight because at that point you could die. This is what Troy Ave said. Collins described the grappling with Taxstone, a hip-hop podcaster whose real name is Darrell Campbell, over the gun. It looks like when you see people wrestle in high school wrestling, that type of position. Okay? Whatever that, you know, whatever. Then he says, when the shot goes off, I see the light. This is all happening fast. I get up and start fighting Taxstone, trying to take him. And another shot goes off. I put my leg up to kind of block the shot from hitting me in the face of the chest. That's when Campbell shot him in both legs, he told jurors. Rapper Troy Ave Monday gave managers a gripping account of life and death struggle with rival Taxstone for the gun used to kill his bodyguard for 2 months. He stole on Irvington Plaza. Yeah, this happened in May 2016, and it's taken this long to go to court. I'd rather die fighting than laying on the ground. I got up immediately and grabbed the gun. Okay, then he said Campbell reached for his waistband, pulled the gun, brought in the fight, ended with McFadder dead. In the aftermath, Collins said concert goers started to flee, and someone yelled cops were coming. And a lot of people were there. You can see in the video. I'm sure, like, Uncle Murder was brought in, a bunch of other people. A lot of people were backstage. I'm sure T.I. was brought in at one point. A lot of people were there for a T.I. show. A lot of people were there. In fact, one of my friends from back when I lived in the Bronx was actually one of the people shot. Mess. Yeah, he was shot. So he recovered. He did, and he did a full recovery. But that was crazy to get it. You guys like just anyways. This is not snitching. Tax tried to blame the murder on his friend on Troy. This is self-defense. It ain't none of my damn business, but the truth is the truth. I have to agree. Tax Stone was out of control. And when I think about Bang Up, not having them anymore and everything over something so stupid. This wasn't like a street beat. This was rap. This wasn't a bunch of people that signed up to be in the streets. This was rap music. This was ridiculous. So, Tax Stone deserves whatever he gets in this situation. Tax Stone deserves whatever he gets in this situation. You can say, "Oh, Jordan, you whatever."
Well, it's kind of tricky, yeah, because like it is self-defense.
Yeah.
In a way.
Right.
Because how can you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Tax Stone shot banging,
Right.
Unless there's eyewitnesses, and they're gonna come testify in court. You know what I mean? Because he was caught on camera busting the murder,
Right.
But then he's gonna say that was my friend. That was my friend that died. That was my friend. Okay, how is he your friend? Well, he's my friend because I came here with him. Blah blah blah. Okay, so then tell us what happened. Now he's telling the story,
Right.
So it's something to see. Because on one hand, he came to his place of business looking for trouble. He defended himself. Mind you, someone else got killed. And he shot back with the same gun.
Who was looking for trouble? Tax Stone, you're saying?
Yeah. But how could you prove that without telling what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But they could also use their detective judgment and see that they're going back and forth online.
On top of that.
Podcasts and everything, right? So the police I don't think the police is gonna go into like who's right or who's wrong. They're just gonna look at the facts. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy about it. So now, if he testifies, he's gonna get off.
Say what?
If he testifies, he's gonna get off. Tuxton's gonna get off.
I can barely hear you.
If he testifies, then and then he's proven to be lying about something, then Tuxton could probably get off.
Right.
Because think about it. He didn't. He wasn't on camera. He wasn't on the scene. He got caught a couple months later, no?
Right.
And then they arrested him for that particular murder. Well, I guess they would have to have surveillance camera footage and or maybe an eyewitness. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Man, the way this is, they got a witness and probably got some footage too of someone I seen for sure.
So that's case closed.
Not necessarily. They still need like a statement that could connect everything. So they probably
No, that's case closed, man. They don't need no statement. If they got a eyewitness on a tape, they don't need no statement from Troy Ave.
right.
So they probably don't have that. So that's when it becomes tricky. You know what I'm saying? How can they prove it beyond a reasonable doubt that he came there with a burner and he shot Banger? But I'm sure people that are there are gonna testify. Ones that are not gangsters and whatnot, civilians. So it'd be hard pressed to see what's going on out there, man. It's a lot of bullshit. You gotta be real with yourself, man. You're gonna deal with yourself. I feel that dangerous game they playing, bro. Because now if you go understand, you tell, everybody's gonna be like, yo, he's telling, but you're not really gonna care because you're like, yo. Yeah, so what do you think about it, man? You think that's, I don't know, man. It's messed up still,
Mhm.
I don't think they should put a rat jacket on him for that still. You know why?
Mhm.
Because yo, man, it was a self-defense thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to control your emotions, dog. You can't just jump out there just because, you figure, yo, it's 2 against 1 and, let's just,
Say that again.
uh,
You went in and out for a second.
I said you can't just jump out there all emotional in certain situations, You have to evaluate why, because
Mhm.
things can happen in a split second, and you're gonna be regretting it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when
Right.
when you when you're dealing from that aspect, you're like, yo, homeboy should have been more diligent on the way he was looking at it. He should have been more like,
What in the moment?
yeah, you don't know what happened. I think Troy Ave went up to the nigga, and the nigga,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I wasn't there, but you know, or
Yeah.
I'm there with my homeboy slash bodyguard. Let's go confront this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
About some podcast shit. He could have made a joke about it. He could have been like, "Yo, you think you know?" And then asked to like go up on his podcast or something.
Yeah. That would have been the
But
best move right there. Because at the end of the
made fun
day,
of him. Made fun of him on his
sideline.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, You know what I'm saying? And then do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? But you want it to be too uppity and jumpy with it. Yeah, rah, 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 rah. But yo, I'm gonna play Troy Ave. I mean Taxstone podcast. I want to put Taxstone podcast. This in this is not Troy Ave. Did you ever see any of his podcasts when he was dissing
Taxstone?
Troy Ave?
No, not even.
Taxstone explains why he kicked Joe Budden off his
I don't
podcast
care
show. I
about the
gotta see
number.
that one. Still.
What up, YouTube? This is Get.
Okay, hold up. That's some podcast Troy Ave. Hold up.
I didn't switch. The butcher. Wait. See, my thing, the only thing he went back for was pick up his shoe and drop. Ain't got nothing.
You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to do
What is Toronto?
the Toronto
No.
review the Toronto what you call it, hood stories, like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm like interested in this. Text them.
Nothing anymore.
What is
The Toronto vibe be the T dot.
Be seeing that nigga Clubhouse TV.
I knew you was.
They don't want to show his podcast on this, I guess. Well, it's exclusive or some shit.
Hey, yo.
Anyway, y'all could go look up the rise and fall of tax stone. And you could see what I'm talking about, you know. I wanted to hear one of his old podcasts where he's dissing them, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Now we'll get to it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, on a podcast, a nigga say you don't like you on a podcast to that, you know. That's some real retarded shit.
Coming on, good. I know I interviewed you back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, bro.
Yo, you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
So I see you here for tax on trial.
Right.
Can you tell me why you came out here?
I just wanted to, just want to see what's going on, lend some support, send my love to my brother Tax.
You know, Lil Rose went to go check out tax store.
The rise and fall of.
Yo, this is King.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh shit, you can't even hear nothing.
this is yo, this is King Earner coming to you
I
guys.
want you to hear King Earner got to say about
Right. This is the Circle of Honor podcast. Y'all already know how we carry
King
it. Yeah.
Earner.
I'm trying to get some understanding. Can somebody give me some
You
understanding
know about King Earner?
of why Troy had gotten that box today?
King Earner.
That kitten walked right in there acting like he was mafioso Joe.
YouTuber is that you talking about?
Not mafioso Joe. He looks like a joke. He embarrassed himself. He embarrassed the people.
Oh, he snatching niggas' honors.
Whoever it is, I don't care who you are.
Funny
You can't claim to be solid and you know this guy been doing this all these months and all this time. I mean, honestly, let's be for real here. I feel, I feel as though he deserved the worst of dishonor. And because in these times, you cannot, I repeat, everybody, have understanding, you cannot kill a rat. You have to kill a rat with success. I catch any of my followers say, oh, murder, rat. No. New era here. You don't deal in crime anymore. Once you're free of crime, or if you know that you was in the streets and you had to wiggle it out of it, and you saying, I changed, you can't go back to dealing with them type of individuals. What ends up happening is, they get a chance to point you out on the stand, and you should be thankful to God that you got away from that. You should be rebuilding what you once destroyed. I'm just keeping it 1,000. And
Real shit.
you know, a lot of times we hear and we see things. And I gotta say, I did it. I went to tax tone and snatched his honor, not even saying the letter. Somebody got to produce that letter. I took the word of this Rizak's lawyer that he did write a letter. And if you wrote a letter, you know, I would like to know the details of the letter. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I have to get tax on his honor back. I can't. That man is not scheduled to get on the stand. That man doesn't have what I would call a statement from the detective. So how can I call this man of dishonor? All because of what a rat say. And that's what my next day gonna be. When I speak on big meat situation, it's gonna get deep, man. But we gotta stop listening to what these rats say. You take what a rat say because it's equivalent to the people who like the same gender. They like each other. Well, you know, that's what they do. They put the solid men out. So it's always, oh, that usually be official tissue information. You know, the rent is lower than them. So it's like, hold on for a second. Hold on. Why am I taking the word of these mythos? Why am I even listening to anything they say? Troy Abbey live from the beginning, man. You got to understand that day. And I think that you learned the biggest thing today was the stand is not a myth. Or Rizak is not a myth. And I got to say this to you, man.
You're so stupid.
The what? You can never get it back. You know why? We can put on display for the youngins of what he used to look like. But nobody can actually kill a rat this time without being buried for the rest of their life. So what King Earner here is doing, I'm just trying to get an example to the people that you can kill a rat with success. That's not a human body. That's not a human body. But we have understanding that he took his own sword, and he put it in himself today, throwing away everything that is supposed to be mine. Even when he said what he said about the bodyguard. Do you remember what he said about the bodyguard? He said that the bodyguard, if George, if you're watching this here, this is the #1 thing, since they want to put it in the public. Don't you guys understand what he done? He said that they seen Capstone. Troy said they seen. And Capstone said calmly, what's poppin'? What's going on? Hey, how are y'all today? What's up? We had differences, but what's going on? How are you? And you know what he done? He allowed the bodyguard who's protecting his life and has the right to speak up as a man, who said, I'm gonna rock him. Those words that you, the Rizak, Troy said today, I'm going to rock him. You let your bodyguard say that today. I'm going to rock him. I don't have to put the answers to that in my city. We know what rock means. I'm gonna rock him. And you winked and said, go and do what you do. And that man never gave off a disrespect or some type of aggression to me. Anybody. Though they had to rock him. So allegedly, whatever you said today on that stand, if it happened that way, it's self-defense. The most you can get charged with is a pistol. They might say, because I don't think there's no self-defense in New York, they may say manslaughter. You done that, you resent. God put that on you, Dexter. God helps you as a man of honor. And Troy Ave, you know what he put on you? He put you to the depths of the dishonor of you not being a responsible artist and saying, who hired this security guard and saying, we ain't on that here. He said, what's popular? Let's see what you want to accomplish. So God gave two things today. He gave one his freedom back, and he gave another a form of dishonor for putting his foot in a bad position when he is the boss of that guard, and that guard is in his possession at all times. He's to protect him, not put him in a bad situation. This isn't the street, man. The guard is to protect you based off of honor. And guess what? You wanted that guard to do your dirty work. And now that's why everybody was looking at you crazy. Because guess what? You took the stand. I'm King Earner from the Honor Your Life campaign. I stopped reciting crime. And that's the goal. We ain't doing no clowning and no frowning. Everything that I do on the Circle Around the podcast is going to be 1,000% solid. My whole sleep lost. We're carrying it. We're not doing nothing that has to do with any clowns. If you're a kid and we can see you on the streets, it's no need to mention you on these platforms. If you're available YouTubers,
So you said he told everybody that to go ahead and do what you do.
Amongst people who are here that been in crime, that are trying to get some type of understanding from the people of what
Crazy.
they have, acknowledging, and becoming one big four-week church.
Well, I said, go ahead and do what you do.
You know, wasn't on that. But if I could see you face to face, I'm not talking about you here. You have to be worth something, worthwhile for the youngest to be able to say, damn, Ernie just put that on. Not to follow him, because look what he done. That's all we're doing. That's the example. All too tough, big gangster stuff. That's for the reality of men meeting face to face. Learn a life and direct.
There we go. Stretch. Something. Anyway, that's the end of that, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna beat a dead horse. You already know. It is what it is. Trey Austin took the star.
I know a lot of Troy Ave fans are probably disappointed in the man.
Oh, for sure. Well, for them, we're gonna say, "Oh no, he did what he had to do." Well, like, there's no honor in that because.
Say what?
It's his word against the other guys, you know. And he was caught on tape busting a gun, so who knows if they're really gonna take that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then again, everybody know that they're friends, you know. So it's crazy. That's all that is, you know. All that for nothing. Anyway, some more Matt Mizzle, and I'm signing out. See y'all tomorrow night. Before y'all go out and do something stupid, ask yourself, what would Mac do? That's all I do is sit back, relax, count stacks. Kick facts. I got it. Well, we WI.
Year.
We nice thoughts, player.
Yeah, just can't do the time, don't do the crime.
For real.
Makes sense, bro. Shit.
Straight to it. You know what I'm talking about? Support Ryan Mizzo. Keep it real in the field. Forget how they feel. I'm out. Peace.
Year.
Tomorrow.